So there's quite a bit of Microsoft news actually in the news lately, and I thought I would cover some pieces of it right now. A lot of it happened with this long interview that Phil Spencer did on Larry Herb's podcast. You guys know Xbox Live's Major Nelson, and I covered a little bit of it when he was talking about the possibility of them buying more studios to make exclusive games. There was also some other little tidbits that he talked about, basically condensing and kind of confirming that, hey, Microsoft isn't Sony, and they don't have to do things the way that Sony does to be effective or to get people on board with the Xbox brand. And so I thought that was really cool. And one of the things that they've teased was basically E3 and unannounced games. And I thought that was really cool because we've all kind of complained that we haven't had enough games. We haven't had enough unannounced games. We haven't had enough of anything really in terms of what we got for Xbox. Like if you think about it, the last new IP that we really got announced that was like a first party was Sea of Thieves, and that was in 2015, and we're now in 2019. So you have to maybe scratch your head a little bit and wonder, hey, what the deal is with that. But at the same time, you know, Microsoft has done a really good job of getting out there and sort of being transparent with what they're going to do. We don't want a situation as Xbox fans where we have a Metroid situation, right? Like Metroid Prime 4 gets announced, and then what happens, right? They cancel it years into development because it's not really ready. And I think that that's really something that they have to be wary of. So Microsoft has a tendency to announce games only 18 months out or so, right? So they announced like the new Halo, and they announced some interesting stuff there. But at the same time, I think what we're starting to see is the fact that they're coming around to the fans. They're coming around to giving us something that we really want to see in terms of exclusive games and studios and things like that. And a lot of fans are starting to get excited, and rightly so. So Phil Spencer was talking about what they're going to do in terms of E3 2019, and they're going big. They're obviously the first major piece of news, which I can drop because this got put into a site as well, was that Playground Games and Rare are both working on brand new projects. We don't really know what they are, but we do know that Playground Games is developing Fable 4 with tons of leaks and rumors to go along with it. But again, until it's officially confirmed, don't take it as the gospel just yet. Phil Spencer said, I saw what Playground is working on next. I saw what Rare is working on next, and their continued success with Sea of Thieves as well. Spencer also discussed their plans for E3 2019 and how Xbox was going big this year, especially since Sony isn't attending the event. He said, this is going to be a fun E3 for us. We had a discussion internally. Should we go big? Should we save some money? No, we're going to do our thing, and we're going to go as big as we ever have at E3. And I love that opportunity to be with our fans in the industry. We're still going to go through with some of the discussions on how much longer and how much near-term games do we talk about. I'm a proponent for being as transparent as I can be. I feel really good about our plans. The content we'll have will be great, and we'll talk about our future. We'll talk more about what the Xbox brand means to us. We have millions of Xbox customers. We see them on the phone or another device. We want to make that possible. He was also talking about Project xCloud, which is still in active development right now. He said, one thing I was doing on holiday was that I was playing games on xCloud. We want to make sure we get this as right as we can. We wanted to test it. To anyone else on the service, I'm just playing. It'll be years before this is the primary way people are playing, but let's think about our future. We should have at least 5 to 10 year views on things and where we can go. So obviously he's testing it, and there's other people testing it. Still could be a while before we actually see any kind of real confirmation on exactly what's going to happen there. Not exactly my favorite thing in terms of what we're going to be playing. Like, I don't really care about that stuff, like xCloud, PlayStation Now, Google. None of that stuff really interests me or is something that I'm too excited about. So in terms of what I can get into right now, it's these games that we're playing. It's these announcements that we're that we're having. E3, that's the stuff that we really need Microsoft to sort of get their claws into. We want to see these games. We've waited long enough. We've talked about so many interesting different things. They've got all these new studios. But enough with that. It's time for games. We want stuff that can't be played on PlayStation and Nintendo. We want stuff that's just for us. We want stuff that really drives home the fact that we're worth something to Microsoft as gamers. You know, we put up with so much stuff this entire generation, and it's nice to see that we actually get paid some attention to, and they go out of their way to give us some games and things like that. So that's something that all of us have to really look forward to. I mean, I'm sure there's people that are excited about like this xCloud stuff or whatever, but at the same time, you have to just kind of scratch your head a bit and go, hey, you know what, are any of us as hardcore fans, and I know a lot of you are hardcore, really going to play this as a primary way to play Xbox games? Like, at the end of the day, I don't think that's something that most of us are eager to do. I've never heard anyone go, I can't wait to stream that Fable 4, you know what I mean? Most people are like, I can't wait to play Halo Infinite or Fable 4 4K 60 or whatever, you know what I mean? Nobody's like, hey, I can't wait to do this or this with some kind of streaming service. So a lot of us like to keep that in mind as well when we go forward. Obviously, Microsoft has a huge opportunity ahead of them. Why? Because it's quite simple. Microsoft has the jump on Sony when he talks about how big they're going to go at E3, because Sony has no E3 plans. They have nothing going on, and as in terms of what they're able to accomplish, I think it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out for them, and I'm very excited to see how it turns out for them. I know there's a lot of Xbox YouTubers now. It's so funny. Back in the day, there was hardly any, and everybody was just hating on Xbox, and now everyone can go out there and do videos, and that's pretty cool. That's the cool part about YouTube. That's the cool part about Xbox is anybody can sit there and talk about something they love and have that opinion out there and gain some traction, and I think that's really cool. But a lot of YouTubers and a lot of Xbox fans, quote unquote, are usually kind of blasé or down on Xbox most of the time. So it's nice to see that, you know, Microsoft is out there teasing games and things like that, and you can say, hey, you know, take it with a grain of salt or this or that or the other, but as far as I'm concerned, I absolutely love the fact that Microsoft is being very transparent with the games they're going to be offering, as well as the services and things like that, because I do think that that's very, very important, and I think that Microsoft has come a long way in understanding exactly what fans want and what we deserve and what we need as well, because a lot of times us as fans go, we want this, and this. And, you know, you kind of need that parental company to go out there and go, well, do you really need that, though? You know, like, do you really? Is that something that you really need? And I like that Microsoft has been able to go out there and do that. So I'm very excited by that, and I'm very heartened by the fact that Microsoft has come out and done a really good job with the things that they've been talking about. And like I said, the transparency has been nothing short of amazing. So I'm very excited by that. Now, I also wanted to talk about some free stuff, because they do this every so often. They do a free-to-play or free play days. And if you really love racing games and like Forza Horizon, maybe you haven't played a Forza Horizon game and you want to play one for free, right now all Xbox Live Gold members can play Forza Horizon 3 free for the entire weekend. So this is like a promotional thing, and if you actually wanted to continue your progress, you can get all achievements and stuff too, so you can download it and play it. And if you wanted to, you can continue to, you can actually buy it at a 35% discount. It's kind of a limited thing, so you don't get to keep it forever, but it is cool that Microsoft was out there sort of, offering free things. They did, I think, Halo one week, and they did, they've done this a lot, so it's really nice to see. EA's done it too. I think they did it with Fight Night and some other games and things like that. So really cool to see that. And I gotta say, I like what Microsoft is offering. They're giving people like cool reasons to sort of get involved with the Xbox brand, and that's not something that we're like entirely used to seeing. So it's definitely nice to see it. It's good to see that Microsoft kind of paying attention to what the fans want and sort of what gamers want overall, because we don't get that a lot, to be honest with you. When you look around, you don't get very much value in terms of what games are coming and what these companies paying attention to what the people actually want. So I find it to be pretty incredible that we're actually starting to get some of this stuff, and I love seeing Microsoft sort of be proactive and aggressive with this and some of their stance and things like that. So very exciting times if you're an Xbox fans. I can actually thankfully link both this Phil Spencer interview, which is a Windows Central article, and also this Forza Horizon 3 article, which is, hopefully you guys can download it and get to playing it like ASAP, because that's very, very important if you guys were interested in sort of playing it and just, having a good time, kicking back, racing. I think Forza Horizon 3 actually has some very interesting, things with it compared to, Forza Horizon 4. It's more festival oriented, so I gotta say I really do enjoy that, and I think if you guys really like that as well, it's something that you'll like. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully you guys enjoy some of the new content and the new format. I really do appreciate any feedback you guys want to give me. Have a great day. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.